Yo, 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 yo. What's going on? What's happening? What's popping? We up in this bitch. What's going on, folks? What's good, man? Holla at your boy, holla at your dog. Tell me something good. Show me something good. Let me know what's at. We up in this thing, man. Monday nighter tonight. A Monday nighter. Really want to do some post game Super Bowl talk. You know what I mean? The off season is officially here. It ain't official till the Super Bowl is over. The Super Bowl is over. The off season, we are officially here, y'all. We are officially in the dog days of sports fandom. Man, long time before training camp starts, but we here. We are here. Congratulations to the Philadelphia Eagles. Let's blow the horn. Congratulations to the Philadelphia Eagles. They defeated the Kansas City Chiefs and they ended their attempts to be the first team in history to three-peat. That would have been a magnificent feat. But Philly said, nah, big dog. Hold that. Hold what you got. Hold what you got. It ain't about to happen. Not only did they win the game, but they beat the out of Kansas City, man. I'm talking about you know what I'm saying? Boy, that was a good old fashioned one there. The other one, hey man, go get one of the switches and don't bring back no little switch neither. You bring back a little switch, you're gonna get it even worse. Boy, they out, man. Goodness, man. It was such a big margin of victory that really the game kind of got to the point like by the third quarter where the Super Bowl lost your attention. Once you got to the third quarter, you're like, okay, this is over. This is done. Philadelphia is clearly the better team. They're the more physical team. They came prepared to play. This is a done data. You know what I'm saying? Hey man, turn the lights off. You know what I'm saying? This is done. It was evident by the third quarter. You're really seeing it in the first quarter, to be honest. You know what I'm saying? But Kansas City got that, mystique about them that you can never count them out. Second quarter, like, oh boy, this might get out of hand. But third quarter, done data. It was over with, bro. So like third quarter, man, that game lost my attention, bro. And that don't normally happen during a Super Bowl. But like, I was like, man, what else can I do? I think I ended up getting on the internet, bro, and just like was very passively looking at the game. I mean, it was really a ass kicking like no other, bro. I mean, for real. If they really want to put their foot on the gas, it could have been worse than that. It really could have been worse than that. Philadelphia, they kind of lit up a little bit toward the end of the game, but it could have been worse than that. I did not expect that. I did not bet on the Super Bowl, but if I betted on the Super Bowl, I would have betted with Kansas City. Because I just feel like Mahomes is one of them guys that you just don't bet against. So I would have betted with Kansas City, but I'm glad I did. Goodness, boy, whoa! I'm glad I did. So speaking of Mahomes, hey man, I like you, Pat Mahomes, but we got to take you out of that GOAT conversation for a good while, bro. You know what I'm saying? That was too ugly, bro. And you played too bad, dog. You played way too bad. You look kind of like Desmond Ridder out there a little bit, to be honest with you. So I'm sorry. I like you, Pat. Now, not saying, Pat, you can't win another Super Bowl or 2 or 3, and we can put you back in that GOAT conversation. But as of right now, it's Tom Brady in the field. In fact, I got to put you behind Joe Montana now, bro. I'm saying I got to put you. And depending on who you talk to, some people don't even think Brady better Montana. So, yeah, you gotta go to number 3. You gotta go all the way to number 3. You went from maybe GOAT. I gotta bring it to 3, bro. I got you, dog. That was just too ugly to watch, and you played too bad. You played way too bad, Pat. I gotta do it, Pat. I like you, but you gotta come down, bro. That was a man. Let's check out the chat. Shout out to everybody in the chat. We got our dog 330 in this thing. What's happening with your three? What's going on, my brother? We got our guy Brian Cornelius in the house. What's good, Title 4? Shout out to the 4. Shout out to the whole Atlanta, Georgia. South side, east side, west side. What's happening? We got our guy David Starks in. What's up, Title? Love Bijan, but I always said the pick should have been Carter. Yeah. And what are we complaining about for whatever it is year straight the front for exactly, bro. Man, I'm gonna get into that. I was gonna try to talk a little bit more about the Super Bowl, but man, there really ain't a whole lot to say about that game, man. It's like, I mean, what is to say? I mean, they shut Saquon down. I mean, they didn't even need Saquon, bro. It was just they just caught one. So it's really not a whole lot to say about that game. But you're absolutely right, man. About Jalen Carter and Bijan, man. So we definitely gonna open that can of worms up. Hey, man, this is officially the off season now. You know what I'm saying? It is the off season now, so this is the time to, I guess, crowd will spill milk at this point. What's going on, Fred? This is Carter. You know it, and we know it. Yeah, we know it, man. We know it. TG in the house. What's going on with your TG? What's happening? Brian says, "Nah, Tyler, that wasn't just no regular switch. That was that braided. Woo, but you get that braided switch, you done really effed up. You get that braided switch, you done really did something you shouldn't have did, dog. You done really did something you should not have done. That braided switch, but that was a different brand of getting a whipping right there, that braided switch. Davis says also, I'm not scared of the Eagles. Kansas City was a flawed football team with a good offseason, a good defensive draft. We're competitive at the very least. I hope so. I really, really hope so, man. It really gonna, I think, depend on two things. Of course, I think Michael Penix Jr. To be a competitive team, you're gonna have to have good quarterback play in this league. It really no way around that. And also defense. You don't really know what we're gonna bring to the table when it comes to defense. At this point, we are so notoriously bad when it comes to putting a very good and competitive defensive team on the field. So you really don't know what to expect from the Falcons. So really those are the main two components, the quarterback position and the defense as a whole. Outside of that, I feel very good about the offense from top to the bottom for the very most part. Hopefully we can re-sign our center Dahlman, but it might be a casualty of salary cap war. To be real, we may not have the cheddar to get him, man. Somebody might be able to offer him a bigger bag, unfortunately. Travis and Hill said, "What's up to 478?" And I shout out to the 478. To the entire middle Georgia, what's had in Central Georgia. I said since day one, Bijan was a want, but Jalen was a need. Defensive tackle as a premium position. Hey, man, you said it perfectly. I couldn't say it no better than that, man. You said it absolutely perfectly. Okay, we got an Eagles fan here. Eagle has landed. I like that name. Shut up. Before I read your comment, I want to say, hey, congratulations, man. Y'all, that's another Super Bowl. I think that's number 2 for y'all right now, man. So congratulations once again. Enjoy it while it's there. Hope y'all don't tip y'all sitting too bad. Those Philly fans are notoriously crazy. But he says, on behalf of all Eagles fans, we say thanks for leaving Carter on the board for us. We thought Bijan was going to be there for us to pick. Oh, man. So let's go ahead and get into it, man. And he says, appreciate it, bro. Hey, man. Just the Falcons being the Falcons. Really no need to try to break down that game. That game was competitive enough for me to try to break down. Especially being my team wasn't in it, bro. That was just a good old-fashioned ass whipping to the 3rd degree. $82 Money Caller, what's going on, my brother? Says Atlanta turn. I hope so, man. I hope so. But yeah, let's go ahead and talk to this, man. Since the Super Bowl last night, the Bijan, and we're gonna hear a lot about this, man. This ain't gonna go anywhere. no time soon. Especially now that Jalen Carter has another championship. I said another championship. Jalen Carter has 3 major championships in the last 4 years, y'all. Keep that in mind. But Atlanta Falcons, they decided to bypass Jalen Carter and pick Bijan Robinson. And once Philadelphia won the Super Bowl, that conversation kind of reignited itself. It reignited itself, and it's becoming a conversation once again. Tyreek Johnson in the house. What's up, Ty? The Chiefs could have used Snead against AJ Brown, but they traded him away to the Titans. Yeah, they could have used him, but I don't even think he would have made a difference. Last night, man. Philly was just clearly a better team. They were way more prepared. And it showed on the field. That was just good old ass kicking. TG says Falcons filter want a lot of players like Carter, but those players win championships. Yes, indeed, man. A lot of us wanted Jalen Carter, man. A lot of us campaigned for Carter. Miss Lisa in the house, what's going on with you? Lisa says, our team has spent the last 4 drafts going after skill positions. Last night showed us how dominance in the trenches won a championship. We have to build our defensive front. You are absolutely correct. We saw it front and center last night, man. You're absolutely correct. And then, you really think about it also as well. Speaking about some of the greatest quarterbacks of all time, Patrick Mahomes, Tom Brady, of course. You think about the Super Bowls that Mahomes has lost. He lost them like he lost last night. When Tampa Bay beat them, they just whooped them. Their front four just beat Kansas City's offensive line, just like we saw last night. All the Super Bowls that Tom Brady lost, he didn't lose many compared to how many he won. But the ones that he lost, New York Giants, that interior defensive line, they just came to play, and they were the best position on that field. So they end up beating Brady twice. That Philadelphia again. Man, Philadelphia beat Brady and Mahomes. I think that's probably the first team in history to do that for Super Bowl. But anyway, interior defensive line. So no matter how great, excellent, magnificent, elite a quarterback is, man, if your front four clearly wins in the trenches, you have a damn good shot of winning the Super Bowl no matter who the quarterback is. That has been shown. It has been proven. That interior, and that's with Saquon not even having a good game. That's with him not even having a good game. Demetrius in the building. What's going on, Demetrius? Shout out to you. Appreciate you coming in. But yeah, that just shows how a good front four can dominate and manipulate a football game, man. Like I said, a lot of us wanted Carter. A lot of people wanted Bijan. But last night,
quite sure how to help you with that.
Last night showed you, like, look, this is what wins football games in these trenches. If you can disrupt the quarterback, you can win a Lombardi. Man, I have never seen Patrick Mahomes that uncomfortable before in my life. Even when they lost to Tampa Bay, granted, they had Pat running that game, but Pat was still able to get some stuff off. Pat had nothing last night. He had nothing. I don't want to say he was playing scared, but you could see by like the third quarter, halfway through the second quarter, they had got him Mahomes' head. He was anticipating getting hit at that point in time. That mental clock in his head was speeding up. And you saw all that last night. And you don't really ever see Mahomes like that. Pat was clearly rattled last night. He was clearly rattled. That's the best description I can give. He was clearly rattled. Brian Cornelius said it has to be beyond the Falcon filter because it's not just Jalen. We passed on Nolan Smith, Ringo, Kamari, Not to mention the other star players that we bypassed just doing the Falcons. Well, you're absolutely right. Absolutely right. It ain't just Carter. We passed on some more guys we could have got. Also, Kobe Dean as well. We passed on Kobe. We need to take notes from Philly. It's curious to see how our offseason goes. Yes, we do. Roddy White put out a tweet when he was watching the game. Roddy tweeted, Philadelphia Eagles know how to draft football players. Philadelphia Eagles know how to draft football players. That's what Roddy said. One of our all-time greats. This is Mahomes was so discombobulated. Yes, he was. He legit looked. He did. He had no answer. You could see it in his face and his body language. You're like, I ain't got nothing with. I can't do nothing against these guys. But that's what that interior front four did. Like, they took Patrick Mahomes' superpowers away, and they just locked him up and threw away the key. He I say, man, I ain't trying to be disrespectful for Pat because I love his game as a fan, but he looked like Desmond Ridder out there last night, man. Like, boy, you look terrible, dog. Goodness, son. But what time did you go to sleep the night before the game? Did you party late? What happened, Pat? Goodness, son. Demetrius said they had Mahomes on lock. They did. TJ said, right. I remember years ago, this was the conversation. It was, man. Man, I'm telling you, when we went through our little spell this year, when we were winning around, the 6-3 point before Kirk, whatever happened with him, I don't know. I was trying to stay as positive as I could. I was propping Bijan up, man. Without Bijan on this offense, I don't know where we would be. All that nice stuff, blase. But at the end of the day, man, when I watched that game last night with my eyes, like, look, bro, a running back just cannot affect the game like this. A running back cannot affect a game, not an NFL game. High school, college, yeah, talent level different. But the NFL, a running back just cannot affect the game like this. Not a Super Bowl caliber game. They just cannot do it. So, I know, like, using like the Luka Doncic Trey Young debate, since they've been drafted, and now Luka been traded, of course, but everybody be like, oh, who won the trade? Did the Hawks win or did Mavericks win? We lost. We lost the Jalen Carter Bijan thing. They got a ring. And don't get me wrong, I know it ain't solely because of Jalen Carter, but they got a Super Bowl with him, and he was a big reason they won it. They didn't have nothing for Jalen last night, man. I'm sitting here watching him slap guys around and beat up double teams. I'm sitting here like, God damn, this dude is dominating. This man is dominating, man. And it was just a part of me like, why didn't we get this guy? Why did we get what were we thinking? Why didn't we get this guy? So, I hopped on like my Twitter, and I'm gonna let y'all see what I put on my Twitter, right? Y'all see that's what I tweeted out, I think, yesterday, right? I put that on my Twitter yesterday. And it went viral. It didn't go like Twitter viral. It went Falcons Twitter viral. That's a difference. It went Falcons Twitter viral. I said, I love Bijan Robinson, but we made a mistake. Jalen Carter has been destructive all game long and anchored the trenches tonight. Hashtag NFL, hashtag Super Bowl, hashtag Atlanta Falcons. That's what I tweeted when I was watching the game. Because I'm just sitting here watching this man just destroy people. I'm sitting here watching a lot of that pressure and a good bit of those sacks because of what he's doing in the middle. They didn't have nothing for him. So I put that on my Twitter. Some Falcons fans, they understood it, they agreed, they respected it. You're like, hey, bro, hey, I feel the same way. Some of them, let's see how I can say this and be respectful. Some of them did not agree. I'll just say that. Some of them did not agree, right? I had one person retweet me on some like, look at this. This is what we got to deal with all season. Brutal. I responded back. I said, bro, as a Falcons fan, what all season isn't brutal as a Falcons fan? Hello? What all season isn't brutal? Like, big dog, we had won in damn near 10 years. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? What are you saying right now? And I love Twitter, there was I've had my Twitter for a long time. And man, I went probably about 5-6 years without even making a tweet. I just got off it. But a couple years ago, I got back into it, and I kind of like fell back in love with it, right? Because you get a lot of instant news on Twitter. So I'm back to the point where I'm rocking back with Twitter now, right? But let me tell y'all this. Because y'all know I'm not gonna bullshit. Falcons Twitter is very political, right? And I'm not saying political as in Democrats or Republicans. Well, let me rephrase that. There is a lot of politics with Falcons Twitter. That's a better way to say it. And shout out to everybody that I follow on Twitter, that follow me on Twitter, that I'm good with, I'm cool with. Shout out to you, none but respect. Much love to you. Ain't got nothing to do with anybody. Any of you that know I got the utmost respect for. But with that said, the rest of you, there's a lot of politics on Twitter. I'm gonna tell y'all a little bit how it works from like a quote unquote content creator perspective, right? Like some of these, I like to call them quote unquote Falcons influencers or content creators in their own rights. Like they've been on Twitter for so long, right? Like I said, I took about a 5 or 6 years sabbatical. I didn't even tweet. I didn't get on there, whatever. But they've been on there so long, like they feel like they call the shots. Like they almost second and third in command in the hierarchy. It goes to Falcons, major media, then them, as far as the chain of command. It's real. It's a lot of politics in this shit, right? So they'll have like certain people that they collectively want to try to push to the fans. Certain coaches or certain players. For example, Bijan Robinson, he one of them. And if you say anything to go against that, or they feel like you shaking the tables, they will try to ostracize you, try to come at you in their own way, try to politic against you. Me, I'm gonna say how I feel. If you agree with me, cool. If you don't agree with me, I don't give a damn. If that's how I feel, that's how I feel. I'm gonna say how I feel. But they, this certain Falcons Twitter politic, right? They want the politic and sell the fan base Bijan. So they was all pushing Bijan before the draft. And I was already like, hey, man, like, bro, we don't need a running back at 8, bro. Don't do it. We need a running back at 8, right? So anyway, when I make this tweet, it's a lot of pushback, right? Lot of pushback. You know, certain people say certain things. So it's almost like I'm going against what the politic is. Like, how dare you go against this politic? You know, we done sold this guy to the fan base, whatever. So they don't. Some of them don't like me when I do that. You know what I mean? Some of them don't like that. But hey, y'all who rocking with me, y'all rock me. You know, since I've been on YouTube, y'all know me. I'm gonna speak my mind. You know what I'm saying? That's gonna happen. Whether good, bad, indifferent, I'm gonna speak my mind. So some of them don't like that, right? I made a tweet about Troy Anderson. I was like, man, and it was a respectful tweet. Now, I'm not the type, I'm not gonna get on there. I'm just not finna get on there and clown the Falcons or clown our players. I don't rock like that. You know what I'm saying? I don't rock like that. But I said in a very respectful way one time, like, look, man, we got to do something at linebacker. Troy Anderson is not a starting caliber middle linebacker. He should be on the bench. You know, I said it very respectfully. I know these players are on Twitter. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to go out there and just be no shot jock and disrespect people. That ain't my program at all. You know, but hey, that's my feeling. I'm still a fan at the end of the day. And boy, they almost blew a casket about that one. But see, the politic was to try to sell Troy, and you know, I guess they all had to collectively agree. Yeah, Troy Anderson, yeah, man, let's get behind Troy and push him to the fans. So for me to kind of come against that and say, hey, man, this Troy Anderson ain't the guy, bro. We got to do something better. They didn't like that. You know, they didn't like that. You'll have people retweet me saying all kind of crazy stuff. You know, oh man, how do y'all follow this guy? How do y'all follow this account? How do y'all listen to him? Look at what he's saying about Troy. I'm like, so what? It's my opinion. Like, you know, what you gonna do about it? It's just an opinion on the internet, bro. Like, bro, I'm not in this clique. You know what I'm saying? I'm not in this flop. I'm gonna speak my opinion as an individual, dog. It's not gonna be because of some clique or nothing like that. I promise y'all that. So I said something about, they got upset about that. They was, before Raheem Morris got hired, they was trying to click up and sell the fans. Oh man, Ben Johnson, I said something like, I was like, what's the difference between Ben Johnson and Arthur Smith? It seems like almost the same type of coach. Got mad about that. But anyway, I just want to, you know, let y'all know a little bit of how the politics go. But so I made this post about Bijan and like, I don't know, it kind of created a firestorm in a sense. Excuse me. Like I say, some people agreed, some people didn't agree, but from a fan's perspective, like it was not a good pick, man. I remember being on the annual draft show, and I swear I told y'all this before, but if anybody ever go back and watch that show, go back and watch the draft show when you got time. I'm sure it's still up on Uncle Steve's on his channel. Shout out to Uncle Steve. But man, you could see in my face, bro. I was not with it, dog. I was mean mugging. I'm like, bro, this is a mistake. Like, man, we got Jalen Carter right here. We're gonna take another running back. What are we doing? What are we doing? I was not feeling it. You can see it in my face. And as they say, one thing, I guess I'm one of the people that wear their emotions on their shoulders. Like, I don't know how to fake it. Like, if I didn't like the pick, it's gonna be visible on my face. Like, bro, this ain't it, dog. This ain't it. This ain't it, bro. This ain't it. And now, here we go again. And let me say this as well. This is not about Bijan Robinson. Let me make myself crystal clear. It is about Bijan, but it ain't about Bijan. Bijan is a phenomenal player, phenomenal person. And knock on wood, barring any injuries, he's going to have a phenomenal NFL career. Let me make myself crystal clear about that. Because some people seem to think that, oh man, why you hating on Bijan? No, not hating on Bijan. Definitely not hating on Bijan. I'm a big fan of Bijan Robinson's game, and I'm probably a bigger fan of how he carries himself as a young man. You know what I'm saying? So no hate on Bijan. This is about how can the Falcons get to the next level? How can I watch the Falcons raise a Lombardi? This is all it's about. And Bijan is just a piece of the puzzle. And for me, when you have a generation of defensive tackle there, you have a generation of running back, you take the defensive tackle. Especially in our case when we still had Tyler Algier, who was going into his second year, and he had already set the franchise rookie rushing record. You know, so the Bijan pick, it did make a lot of sense to me. I always say this, I like the player, I hated the pick. I hated that Bijan pick, man. I hated the pick. But, you know, we did the most Falcons thing in the world. Took a running back, left Jalen Carter there. And no, don't get me wrong. I mean, I understand, like, there was some quote-unquote character issues with Jalen, and you know, you had that situation. Rest in peace, everybody involved. I'm not going to even get too deep into that because it was a very sad and tragic thing that happened. But you had this incident that happened in Athens, and I think that's really what scared the Falcons away. Because I remember soon after that incident happened, and I think they announced that he would be getting charged for whatever they charged him with. Again, I ain't trying to get too deep into that. But the Falcons, I won't say the Falcons put out a statement, but I feel like they leaked it to somebody in the media. The Falcons will not be drafting Jalen Carter. And they did. They let him sit right in the green room, and they didn't draft him at all. You know? And I feel like it was a great mistake, man. And here we go a couple years later, and y'all talk to me. I'm looking at the chat. A couple years later, what has everybody been complaining about this team all year long? What facet of the team has everybody been talking about? Everybody been complaining about the defense. Here we are again. Don't have a good defense. Oh, we got to get a defense. We got to do why the defense, you know. But you had a chance to get somebody there that you could build around for the next 10 years on defense. You know, you pretty much had the great all-time great Aaron Donald come out and say, hey, in only 2 years, Jalen Carter is the next me. Aaron Donald said, he is the next me. That's me. That's Junior. Y'all are saying Jalen Carter is your generation's Aaron Donald. That's what Aaron Donald said himself. That's lofty praises. But it just be frustrating, man. It's like sometimes I just don't understand what the Falcons be thinking, man. Sometimes I think they overthink shit. Sometimes I think they try to, and I don't want to blame everything on what happened with Michael Vick because that's been a long time ago. It's like 20 years ago. Like if you ain't got past that by now, you ain't gonna never get past that. Like, bro, it's like the Vick thing was bad. It happened, but listen, that's life. In any industry, people are gonna get in trouble. That at the end of the day, that's just life. At my job, your job, people get in trouble outside of work. You're not going to be able to avoid that. You know, I'm not saying that you just fill up your team with a whole bunch of good for nothings. Hey man, but you need a few guys in the locker room to throw it off a little bit. I always say this is a barbaric sport played by barbarians. Everybody can't be nice guys, man. You gotta have some edgy characters in that locker room, bro. Like they bring an element that not every guy can bring, and Get better time to translate on the field. But the Falcons draft Bijan and they immediately make him the face of the franchise. You know, they have this whole, I guess, partnership with his muscle, whatever. But ain't, you know, that's cool and that's Dan and that's okay. That's what it is. Eagles draft Jalen Carter. It's like, hey man, let's come to work. You need come on, let's go to work. Let's get to work. We ain't trying to put you in front of no camera, you know. We know what it is. You know what it is. Let's go. And it's just disappointing, you know. Watching how this rebuild has sprouted since it started 4 years ago has been disappointing. It really has. We are the only team in NFL history to draft offensive skill position players in the top 10 of the NFL draft. Well, for us, it's the top 8, but technically the top 10 4 consecutive years. Nobody has ever done that before. But of course, the Falcons make history. It's like this team, how we operate, we want to build from the outside in instead of inside out. Like, we're going to get all the flashy, shiny, and I saw somebody put in the chat, we like shiny toys. It's true. We want to get all the shiny toys and trinkets and all that stuff, you know, and then we'll try to fix the trenches, you know, when we can or when we run out of money. And it'd be so frustrating. It was just frustrating for me sitting there, and in full transparency, I am a Georgia Bulldog fan. So yeah, there's a little fanboyish in me when it comes to Georgia players. But man, Georgia went back to back. And you could argue anybody, and you could win that debate on how good your debate skills are, that Jalen Carter was the best player on the team both of those years. You know, I know Stetson got a lot of publicity, which he should. I know our boy Brock Bowers got a lot of publicity, which he should. And I'm not saying definitively he was, but you could make that argument. Like, yeah, all them boys were good, but hey, at the end of the day, this was the best player on that team both of them years. You can make that argument. And you had a lot of studs on that. Lad McConkey, a lot of guys, man. You know, Lad McConkey had a spectacular rookie year. That just show how special Jalen was, or he is. So it'd be frustrating, especially when we make moves and we still lose. Now listen, if we'd have made that move and we done got in the playoffs the last 2 years and we win in 11 games, 13 games, but we just can't win the NFC Championship game, or we losing the Super Bowl. Okay, you know what? Hey, our time coming. We getting there, but dog, we're not even getting the playoffs. We're not even having winning seasons. So something that should not add to the frustration of a Falcons fan last night, it added to the frustration of a Falcons fan. Because we had this guy right here in our grasp. We had him. But of course, Falcons filter. It just get frustrating. It do get frustrating, man. You know, it gets frustrating. And then you watch Philadelphia Eagles. Their plan was, hey man, we're gonna draft them in and Georgia Bulldogs as we can. You guys have had the most dominant defense in college football the last 2 years, and you won national championship both years. We're gonna take every one of y'all guys that we can. You know what? If the kicker fall and we drafted late in the draft, we gonna take the kicker too. In fact, who was the water boy? How much did they pay you in Athens? All right, we'll double it. Come be our water boy. We want everything. But Falcons, they have different plans. They have different plans. So let me read some of the comments here. David says, I now have to look at the owner. That's fair. 2 GMs and we're still prioritizing skill players over the trenches. Lindstrom and Gary were the last first round picks we spent on either side of the line since 2019. Man, that's been a long time, bro. And that came from the previous GM. You know what I'm saying? That came from the Metro. We like the shiny toys. Williams says we have a lot of holes on the front seven. It's GM and owner with the bone-headed decision. Yeah, man. Man, we're gonna have to have a spectacular draft, and we're gonna have to find some Ray McClouds on defense, guys that actually play bigger than their contract states. Because I feel like we got a long way to go to rebuild this defense, especially with limited cap space and limited draft picks this year. It might be another rough year for us on defense, man. It might be another rough year. Strapped up. What's going on, Strapped Up? So they've been complaining about Taylor Swift just playing, bro. It's the defense. It's always been a defense for Atlanta, man. It's always been our defense. And that's a significant reason I wasn't as critical on Jimmy Lake as a lot of other people were. Because when I look at our defense, I just see like, man, this defense, it don't have a lot of talent on it, man. Now, I just spoke about how much draft equity or capital we spend on offense. So, yeah, it's talent on the offense. But on the defense, man, it's I'm not saying it's talentless, but it's a lot left to be desired on that defense, man. From the front 4, the front 3, and I guess in our case, to the linebacker room. You got some holes in your secondary. Just like, I still say, man, once you get past AJ and Jesse Bates, it's not a whole lot there. K-Nell is solid. But once you get past them 2 players, and then, good luck thinking you're going to fill up your front 3 and front 4 with a bunch of guys past 30 years old. Good luck thinking that. Good luck. If you go back and look at the sack leaders, like 90-95% of those guys are in their 20s, man. You need them young legs on that line, man. You don't need these 32 and 33-year-old guys like Eddie Goldman and Amyamadi and Matthew Judon. Like, no. So hopefully Rukaru will be something. And I know a lot of people was talking about Braylon Trice got hurt, but we don't know what we got in here, man. Braylon was a 3rd round pick, How much can we expect out of a 3rd round pick? I mean, seriously, how much can we expect out of a 3rd rounder? William said the Falcons do stuff. The Falcons do Falcon stuff. They want good guys instead of off the field issue players. Yep, that's a fact. That is definitely a fact. Troutner said, I have to disagree. Jalen wouldn't have done anything for us. Our scheme and defensive coordinator were terrible. And that's where I would have to actually disagree with you on that, Strapped Up, because I really think it's easy to blame the scheme and the DC when, once again, you really don't got any like talent there, man. Like, you ain't Man, it ain't no real ballers on that defense, bro. Again, outside of AJ and outside of Jesse Bates, that Grady Jarrett is definitely not the same Grady that he was in 2016, 17, 18, 19. That Grady Jarrett is gone. And you can never say never, but I don't think that Grady never coming back. You know, David Amiyama old. He 33. What you expect to get out of a 33-year-old who was never elite to begin with? And don't let me get started on the linebackers. So I feel like it's more of a talent issue than anything. And that's been the same with Atlanta for a long time, man. This defense has been consistently bad for a long, long time, bro. You know, and I know people like to point to last year's defense with Ryan Nielsen when we was ranked 11th all time. Okay, cool. But you know what? That was an exception. That was an outlier. As Wesley Snipes said when he played Sidney Deal and White Man Can't Jump, the sun shines on the dog's ass every now and then. Every now and then, stuff gonna go your way, and you gonna play certain teams, and your defense on paper gonna be pretty good on paper. But what was the defense ranked before 2023? What was the defense ranked after 2023? That tells you who you really are. You know, that tells you who you really are. If I'm selling cars and for 20 years, I sell 10 cars a year. In 1 year, no, 2 years out of 20, instead of selling 10 cars every year, I mess around and I sell 20. 2 years out of 20. I'm really a 10 car a year guy, but just something happened those other 2 years. Those are my outlier years. That's not really who I am. And I think a lot of people let the 2023 defense misconstrue them on who the Falcons defense really are. They really are who they've been the predominant amount these last 10, 15 years, which is a below average defense. Even when we went to the Super Bowl, below average defense. That's who we really are at heart. 2023 was just that sun hitting that dog's ass every now and then. You do it. Hey, man, you play the lottery enough, you're going to eventually hit. That's how the system's set up. You're going to eventually hit. If I shoot enough 3-pointers, I'm gonna hit a few on. That don't mean I'm a good 3-point shooter. But if you do things enough times, you're gonna eventually, succeed in some form. But that's not really who you are. That's not really who you are. What you do the predominant amount of times, that's really who you are. Patrick Mahomes was terrible in the Super Bowl last night, but that's not really who he is. That was an outlier game for him. That's not really who he is. Saquon Barkley did not have a good game last night in the Super Bowl, but that's not really who he is. The Falcons defense being ranked 11th in 2023, that's not really who we are. Circumstances just happened. That's all it was. Circumstances just happened, but that's not really who we are. So, with that said, man, it's a personnel issue with the defense, man. And I'm not saying that Jimmy Lake was some all-time great defensive coordinator or his scheme was all great or nothing, but, man, you got to get some players on defense, man. You got to get some players. It ain't really nobody on that defense. And y'all correct me if I'm wrong, but it ain't really nobody on that defense that scare anybody. Ain't nobody on that defense that's, oh man, we gotta face Grady Sunday. Oh my God, what we gonna do? Oh man, Troy Anderson coming to town Sunday. What we gonna do? No, ain't nobody that just striking fear in nobody over there, man. Nobody. That's who the Falcons really are. We talking about a team that hadn't had a top 10 defense, but probably twice, I think, in the last 20 years. That's really who we are. We are really, in our heart, a bad defensive team because we prioritize offense. That's why we are notoriously a good offensive team, because that's what we prioritize. When Matt and Julio was here, hey man, the offense was pretty damn good most times. That's who we was. Don't matter who the coach is, bro. You Strap, you could bring Bill Belichick in here. You could whoever you want to, man. You could bring the best defensive mastermind in here. If the personnel is trash, the results are going to be trash. We are really a bad defensive team at heart. That's who we are. That's really who we are. 2015, bad defense. 2016, bad defense. Now, I'm going to tell you, 2017 defense was really the only defense that was really, truly very, very, very good. I think 2023's defense has been egregiously overrated, but 2017, that was a Super Bowl worthy defense. So in a 10-year span, you really only had one defense in here that you just say, okay, I can take this defense to the Super Bowl and I can win with it. And the reason I don't put everything on the defensive coordinator, because, man, we have had 4 or 5 defensive coordinators in here. All of them come here. They'll be here 2-3 years, they gone. 1, 2, 3 years, they gone. 1, 2, 3 years, they gone. Why? Because the Falcons don't prioritize defense. They don't. That's why I'm sitting here having a conversation about Jalen Carter, because our priorities are messed up. If you were actually going to spend, this would trip me out about the Falcons. If you're going to spend, and I just stated this, but if you're going to take your top 8 picks in the first round in 4 consecutive years and spend them on offensive skill positions, that's saying a lot about your priorities as a team. You're offensive centric. And then you have to try to rely, well, let's get a washed up Judon. Let's try to get an old Justin Simmons. You hit with Jesse Bates, but let's be honest. Jesse Bates wasn't even the same Jesse Bates last year. Jesse Bates wasn't the same Bates last year. I'm not saying he was bad, but he wasn't great. He was good. He wasn't great. And we try to fill these holes, instead of like, look, let's just go draft some deep studs in the first round. Bump this. We don't need no tight end. We don't need no running back. We don't need no wide receiver. Let's just go get defense. But the Falcons don't think like that. And it does get frustrating. Got my guy Larry in the house. Shout out to the Larry with the Dixon Way. Y'all make sure y'all check out the Dixon Way here on YouTube. Gives you the best in-game sports commentary that you're going to find anywhere on social media. He says, how did the Eagles beat us in 2017 and won a Super Bowl, made a full rebuild, and have won another Super Bowl 8 years later? Because the Falcons don't value building trenches on defense or offensive line. That's true. Offensive centric, man. Excuse me. Offensive centric, man. And like I say, man, I tried my best to remain positive about it all year. Excuse me. Again, this is the off season, man. By the time training camp start, this ain't gonna be no topic of conversation. But when you watch what Jalen Carter did in that Super Bowl, and me knowing we had opportunity to get that guy, it's like, oh, what we doing, man? What we doing? We took our running back, really? Oh boy, man. And another component that really pissed me off about it is, I remember what it was like 2 years ago, I think. Arthur Smith and Terry Fontenot. They had their press conference. They were talking about, yeah, man, we taking a close look at University of Georgia players this year and players from the state of Georgia. We got a peach that we're gonna put by their names and blah 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 blah. Man, they just watch all the Georgia players go off the board, man. And still drafted offense in the first round, bro. It just be frustrating, man. We really do. It really do. It really be frustrating, man. It really, really do. Coach's Corner in the middle. What's going on with you, Coach? He says, nah, bro, you're not going to skate by this. Vic came in and turned them back into a top-tier defense. Your coordinator definitely plays a part. He did his thing last night. Vic. You talking about Vic Beasley? You talking about Vic Beasley? Let me know if I'm assuming you're talking about Vic Beasley. I'm sure you ain't talking about Michael Vick. Vic came in and turned them back into a top dude. I'm sure Vic Beasley. Now, Coach, if you are talking about Vic Beasley, you might have just came in, but I stated the 2017 defense was really the only Super Bowl worthy defense in 10 plus years. I gave them their props, but that's 1 year. It's only 1 year. If you're talking about Vic Beasley, you're talking about Nick Fangio, or however you spell the name, Philly defense coordinator. I mean, if you want to give him some credit, that's fine. But they were still a top level defense in 2022 as well. They still was a top level defense in 2022. And I'm not taking anything away from that defensive coordinator or anything like that. But at the end of the day, they got players on that defense, Coach. They got players. They have players on that defense. They got players all over that defense. They were smart. They invested in their defense when they had the chance in the draft. And what did they do as far as their running back? They got him out of free agency. They invested key draft capital in their defense. The Falcons do not do that. We go tight end, wide receiver, running back, quarterback. Not really mad so much at the quarterback because you had to draft your quarterback soon. But they got players in Philly, man. Like, that's like a lot of the point I'm trying to make, man. We don't have the players. We don't have the dogs. And no pun intended. I know I'm talking about Georgia a lot, but we don't have the dogs on defense, man. Like, man, Grady Jarrett ain't scaring nobody in 2025. David Onyemata ain't scaring nobody in 2025. I don't care what scheme you put him in. They ain't scaring nobody. Matthew Judon ain't scaring nobody in 2025, bro. Arnold Ebiketie, he okay. But man, ain't nobody up front scaring nobody up front. Nobody is scaring nobody up front. Nobody is scaring nobody up front. Nobody. No real dogs. Nowhere. Millie Mills in the house. What's going on with you, Millie? It's tight at this point. Maybe it's the 10 on it. Hey, man. Say, man. I mean, hell, Washington changed and made a conference championship game. I'm just saying, bro. Hey, man, you make a good point. You make a damn good point, bro. The only pieces that ain't changed in 20 years is Arthur and Mr. Rich McKay. You probably own something right there, man. You're probably on something. Larry says Philly backups could start for the Falcons. It's yes, dog. Yes. They got Nolan Smith at the end of the first round, and he came on strong in the playoffs, bro. I'm pretty sure he led the NFL in sacks in the playoffs. Larry also says Philly GM is a Gators fan and drafting Georgia Bulldogs and had one of the dominant Super Bowl wins in Super Bowl history. Exactly. Exactly. No Carter taking a year. I think he's a free agent. I think he was a free agent. Coaches, some players they had last year and the wheels fell off. My point is absolutely you have to have people in coaching position to win. The map of the line last night wasn't even Carter. Man, Carter was absolutely destructive last night, coach. I mean, he was a menace last night. But coach, the point I'm trying to make is I'm not trying to take anything away from coaching itself. But at the end of the day, you gotta have personnel. You gotta have players. You gotta have players. In order to be consistently good on defense, you gotta have players. Man, it's a reason that we done went through so many defensive coordinators. You know, it's gonna be hard for people to tell me that every defensive coordinator we done had like 4 or 5 of them recently. All of them are bad. No, all of them are coming into bad situations with personnel. That's what the issue has been. That you ever wonder why there's some teams that no matter who the defensive coordinator is, they always find a way to have either a great or a good or a suitable defense. Some teams are just, hey man, we just gonna have some good defenses. Some team, hey man, we're gonna have some because they prioritize defense. The Falcons do not prioritize defense. They don't. You cannot tell me a team who takes 4 consecutive offensive skill possession players in the top 8 of the draft. This is a team that prioritizes defense. That's the foundation of your team right there. They'll try to, go penny pinch a free agency on and get somebody. Or they gonna trade for old Matthew Judon. That's a lot of the issues right there. We just don't have the dogs, man. Ain't nobody on this defense scaring nobody on offense, man. Nobody. They probably a little timid of Jesse Bates throwing at him. But man, that's front four. Nobody is scared of nobody on that front four. Ain't nobody scared of Eddie Goldman. Ain't nobody scared of Grady Jarrett. Nobody scared of Amyamata. They damn sure ain't scared of no damn Trey Anderson or Nate Landman. Ain't no dogs, man. Ain't no dogs. I don't care who the coach is, bro. You got to have the players. You got to have the players, man. Regardless of who the coach is, you're going to have some players. You got to. William says we need to rebuild a whole defensive front. I agree with you, man. I totally agree with you. This all season, I don't want to see nothing but defense, bro. I don't want to see nothing but defense. First round pick better be a defender, bro. If they pick anything but a defender in the first round, dog, this team, bro, they're not serious. They're not serious. I'm gonna love them forever, but I'll probably have to just come to the realization that I'm chasing a waterfall. TLC, don't go chasing waterfall. If they come with anything but a defender, you know what, bro? You chasing waterfall, dog. This team ain't serious. This is a very unserious organization. If they come with anything but a defender, this is a very unserious organization if they draft anything but a defender in the first round. They are not serious, bro. They patty caking, they boo-hooing. Anything but a defender in the first round, they playing. They're not serious. They're not serious. Tyrese is true. Most of the guys on defense wouldn't be starting elsewhere. That's what I'm saying, man. That's what I'm saying. Like, bro, we don't have the players. That's why I use the example. If you go back in history, man, it's like, bro, every year the defense is bad. I mean, that's a fact. Outside of 23 and 2017, the outlier years, man, we are bad defense. That's who we really are. We're really a bad defensive team. We are really a bad defensive team. You know, most times than not, we're gonna be pretty good on offense because that's what they prioritize. You know, they prioritize offense. They prioritize, you know, making sure Matt was paid, making sure Julio was paid, getting Devontae, getting Tevin Coleman. Then you go and get Muhammad Sanu, and you got Muhammad Sanu. You gave him a good contract. I'm pretty sure we got him in free agency. Then you come right back. You draft Calvin Ridley. You take Austin Hoop in the third round. They make sure the offense is set up. They don't take the same strategic, shrewd moves on defense. They don't do it. Every now and then they'll throw the defense a bone and take a guy in the first round of defense. Yeah, let's get AJ Terrell mid first round. You know, I mean, we'll go ahead and get him. You know, we'll get Vic Beasley. You know, man, I'm telling y'all look at the Falcons' top 10 picks. I guarantee you, the vast majority of those guys are offensive players. Over the last 20 years, you look at the top 20 picks, I guarantee you, vast majority of these guys are offensive players, man. They're not serious about building defense. You look at guys like teams like Pittsburgh, Baltimore, you know, teams who typically and traditionally have good defenses. Philadelphia, you know, man, they invest first round picks in defense. They're not trying to get a running back at 8. Like, you know what? We'll go get one of them guys in free agency. Hey, Saquon available. All right, bring in Saquon. We ain't got to draft one at 8. We'll go get one in free agency. But the Falcons, they do the total opposite, man. It'd be so frustrating, man. It'd be so frustrating. Demetrius said, what players do we look at in free agency to draft possibly through trade? Good question, man. Free agency is gonna be tough because we don't know how much money we're gonna have. We really don't know how much money we're gonna have to spend. Right now, we got a negative $11 million in cap space, so they're gonna have to finagle some cap space and get some guys. But I don't see us making no big splashes in free agency. As far as the draft, I like my Georgia guys. I like Jalen Walker. I like Mikael Williams. You know, that's two that I got my own right now. You know, I like Mike Green. You know, it just got to be a defender, man. It got to be a defender. Larissa Sweat is a free agent title for the Eagles. Number 19 is a beast, but Carter was creating those pass rushing lanes. They had a double team Carter all game. The Eagles was winning the line of scrimmage with rushing 4, and they were not blitzing, bro. That's the craziest thing. They had like at one point in the game, they had like a 52% pressure rate with no blitzes. They're not sending no blitzes. They're just winning the line of scrimmage. They're just beating Kansas City, man. And Kansas City got a good offensive line. I know it didn't look like it last night, but they had a good offensive line this year. I just need the Falcons to get serious about defense for a change, man. I just need them to get serious about defense for a change. I really do. Coach said, which is stupid to pay Grady. I'm pretty sure that Grady won't be playing on that same contract. Either they're going to release Grady, release Grady, trade Grady, or he's going to take a hell of a pay cut. He really don't. We don't have a choice at this point. Larry said, I don't trust Terry with drafting defense. Hey man, this is Terry and Raheem. If they don't get it right this year, they're both fired. This is their year. You know, if y'all don't figure this out, y'all out of here. This is their year. Now, Arthur Blank was fair. He gave them both a solid year together. Didn't go exactly how we planned. Excuse me. Now he giving them an entire second off season together. Either get this team in the playoffs and put a competitive product on the field, or you two gentlemen will be relieved of your duties. You know, and I know it's a good amount of people who are not big fans of Terry or Raheem for that matter. Don't worry. If they fail this year, they will be out of here. I promise you that. They both will be gone. One, they don't have a leg standing on it. Two, the Kirk Cousins fiasco. Somebody got to pay for that. You know, somebody got to pay for that. William says Zach Robinson has to be better than play calling. I'm not honestly, William. I'm not stressing Zach Robinson, bro. To be totally honest with you, I'm not stressing Zach Robinson. I'm not. You know, hey, my defense was ranked top 10. I mean, excuse me, my offense was ranked top 6, top 8 this year, 13th in scoring, and we went through a horrid point at quarterback. Drake career year, Bijan career year. Darnell Mooney resurgence, Ray McLeod super duper career year. I'm not worried about Zach Robinson, bro. Straight up, I ain't got no side to throw at Zach Robinson, you know, at all. Nothing. Zach Robinson is nowhere near in my sight of view. He way down the priority list. I gotta go through like 7, 8, 9 10 different locks before I get to Zach Robinson. It's so much I got to get through before I start talking about what Zach Robinson needs to do better. I'm not worried about Zach Robinson. I'm really not. I'm really not. I need this defense to be better. Your offense was actually good enough this year to make some type of impact. But the defense, of course, ranked 23rd, 24th, 25th. Still can't sack nobody. You know, I'm not worried about Zach Robinson, man. That's way down the priority list. Way down. Brian said, even when other teams look at Grady, all they do is say, if push comes to shove, just double Grady because they none of the other jokers go bust Grady. Exactly, bro. Like, bro, we gotta get better, man. That's why when you have a generational type talent at defensive tackle, you always take him instead of taking the running back. You always take him. Falcons got to start trying to be this nice guy organization, man. Get back to being the Dirty Birds. I know, I know a few of y'all, kind of in my age. Y'all remember we were the Dirty Birds? Man, we were some nasty jokers back then, man. Get back to play that old school Dirty Bird football, bro. Yeah, the Falcons didn't win the game. At least they gonna win the fight. I remember when this team had a mean streak at one point in time. The Dirty Bird. Like, boy, them Falcons, they some nasty motherfucker. Boy, them jokers dirty, they low down. Yes! Dirty Birds. Now we the good birds. We are now the good, but get back to being dirty, man. Goodness. Golly. Larry says the only reason Terry and Raheem have their job because of Michael Penix Jr. bright future. Aside of Michael Penix and Bijan, Terry entire past two drafts hasn't had any impact. That's sad. That is very sad. And you make a good point. Michael Penix does appear after 3 games to look like he's going to be potentially very, very good. If he ends up being very good or great, they won that draft because it is very difficult to find a very good franchise or great franchise quarterback in the draft. So Michael Penix turns out to be what we need him to be. Then they get an A+ for that. If you score at the most important position, he looks like he's gonna play the part of being that guy. At least I hope so. I hope he can come out on fire this next year. I really do. Will says we need cornerback. Yes, we do. Cornerback 2 and big nickelback. I don't trust Clark Phillips 3 in that slot corner position. Clark just needs to stay inside. He don't need to go outside. Every time they try to put him outside this year, he got his boots smoked. He just needs to stay inside. We definitely got to get another cornerback to run with AJ. We definitely do. Definitely got to get another corner. May need to actually get 2 cornerbacks. To be honest with you, man. Williams says we need diamonds in the rough. Yes, we need to hit up some mid-round picks, late round picks. Absolutely. Tyree said this offseason will tell us if this team is really serious about winning. Enough is enough. Let's roll the horn on now. Demetrius said our officer is promising. The only thing I would try probably to do is get rid of Pitts and trade for Cooper Kupp. Man, it'll be hard to get Cooper Kupp, Demetrius, because without looking, man, I think he's making at least $20 million. And the Falcons this year are just not in a position to absorb that type of base salary, man. And unless he somehow gets cut and we pick him up for free agency for the cheap. But I know for sure we can't take that kind of salary this year. We already gonna have to be very creative to create cap space, and that has to be dedicated to more pressing needs on the team. I really think the pass catching position is probably a little further down on the totem pole. Not saying that we don't need any help there, but you got Drake coming back. Not sure what's gonna happen with Kyle Pitts. But you have Darnell Mooney, so you already got you two very, very good options there at wide receiver. So once you got two very good ones, you just need to start putting complementary. Oh, and Ray McLeod, I forgot about Ray. Ray coming back too. So yeah, that's probably not gonna be one of the pressing needs that they're gonna look at in free agency. The Dixon Way says we have 5 picks to draft, and Terry has to hit on 4 to 5 picks this season. One starting, the rest should be good rotation of players. I can definitely agree on that. Preferably 2 starters. If we can play our cards right. Jeremy Dupree in the building. What's going on, Jeremy? Title, whatever I missed, my boy. Not much, man. I just been banging on the Falcons, man. I've been banging on them. Because I sat here and watched Jalen Carter have a dominant performance in a Super Bowl, and we passed up on him. And so that really pissed me off, knowing that we had a chance to get him, and we did not get him. So I'm banging on the Falcons. I'm officially starting off the offseason by banging on the Atlanta Falcons for a bad drafting. They need to change. Need to change their entire philosophy. Stop being so offensive-centric and build a defense. Prioritize the defense for once. So I'm banging on the Falcons. That's what you missed. Other than that, not much, man. Not much. Appreciate you coming in. Demetrius says in the draft we should get an edge. Player cornerback, O-line, etc. I definitely agree on that. Williams says Grady will be released for trade. We need that money for the future. Probably so. He probably so. It's gonna be sad to see him leave, but you can't pay Grady like $20 million this year. You can't do it. Miller says, so what if Terry misses on the draft again, but finds a way to land Myles Garrett somehow, which y'all appreciate him. Myles Garrett, I'm glad you brought it up. I had a chance to speak on Myles Garrett. So let me talk on Myles Garrett real quick. Unpopular opinion, I would pass on trying to trade for Myles Garrett. I really would. I would pass on it. And don't get me wrong. I know you talking about a generational pass rusher in Myles Garrett. But I don't think right now this team is in position to do another big money splash in the offseason for 2 consecutive years. And you already got burnt with Kirk Cousins. And you still got to worry about that money on the books in 2025. Also, with Myles Garrett, it's going to cost you some significant draft capital. And we already have a fewer number of draft picks this year. And after one season, you got to have to pay Myles Garrett again. He's going to be 30 years old this year. After this year, if you trade for him, you're going to have to get him a new contract. He's gonna command, because he's going to come in, he's going to get about 13, 14, 15, 16 sacks. So he's going to play great enough that he's going to command that he's the highest paid pass rusher in the NFL, that means you're going to be looking at paying him you're going to be looking at a contract at about 5 years, about 185 million total, $130 million guaranteed. We are just not in a position right now to lose that type of draft capital, commit to that type of contract right now at this particular time. Now, if the Kirk Cousins mega contract did not happen last season, I would say, yeah, you try to get it. But being that we still got the Kirk Cousins money dedicated, we lost the draft pick also because of Kirk Cousins talking too much and tampering. We could possibly lose another draft pick also because Kirk Cousins once again talking too much. You got to play this one safe. You got to be conservative with Miles. You can't do Myles Garrett right now. Much as I would love to get that type of talent on the team, the Falcons just not in a position to do it right now and make it work with the salary cap and also lose that type of draft capital. We are just not in position, in my opinion, to do that at this point in time. But I would love to have him. Would love to have him. Larry says that we need a sideline to sideline. Larry, I thought that was your boy. Isn't that your boy Troy Anderson, Larry? Isn't that what Troy Anderson was supposed to be, Larry? I thought that was your boy Troy. I thought he was that guy. I thought he was that guy. Also, y'all, let me Larry, I thought that was your guy, man, Troy Anderson, bro. I thought that was your man. Tyrese says we definitely need a DB2. Yes, we do. Long overdue. We missed out on so much talent in the later rounds. It's mind-boggling. Yeah, we did, man. We did. He said, "Yeah, to the no." But yeah, you're right, Tyreek, bro. We gotta have a monster draft this year, man. We gotta have a monster draft. You know, of course, Terry Fontenot, I guess he didn't go to the Senior Bowl, so they've been lining him up about that. I hope he's been watching a lot of tape since he went there in person, man. Because I'm telling you, man, if the Falcons come out playing, I'm telling y'all, the Falcons come out playing, they start off 3-4, 4-5, 4-6. Bro, Arthur Blake will probably just let Terry Raheem go before the season over. You know, he kept both this year, but that seat is warm. Both of their seats are hot. It ain't scorching hot, but both of them seats are pretty hot right now. They need to start off 5-2, 4-1, 7-2. You know, they need to start off on 5. And unfortunately, that's gonna be a lot of pressure on Michael Penix. Because, hey, man, you're going to have to just your second year. Hey, bro, you got to come on here. You got to lead this team, dog. You got to be the team leader. You're the quarterback. Hey, we know you're still a puppet, but you got to come lead this team, bro. You got to. Rodney Love says, we need someone to push the middle of the pocket. Yeah. Hey, that's why I've been sitting out here hollering and whiffing about Jalen Carter, man. Watching him last night, I just got pissed off all over again, like the draft happened, bro. I just got extra pissed off. It's bad when another team winning the Super Bowl piss you off as a fan of a whole different team. That's how I felt watching that Super Bowl. I got pissed off because we didn't get the guy. Williams says Kirk Cousins will be cut. I don't think we're gonna lose the draft pick. We already got called for tampering. Kurt will be the cut or he will be traded, but he will not play another down with the Falcons. It is definitely not going to happen. Brian says Terry contract still haven't been extended. Habit. Be honest with you, I don't know. He was hired in 2021, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. I'm not sure. He may be in the last year of his contract right now. I'm really not sure. I haven't seen anything about it. So I'm really not sure. This is possibly the last year of his deal. Costa notes how they went through that before. Penix will be a rookie next year. Don't even start that, coach. Don't start that nonsense. That's that Desmond Ritter rule. You get 2 rookie years. Williams says, I think we should trade back to get more picks. They may do that, man. They may try to compensate for the lack of draft picks and trade back to add some draft picks. That's not a bad idea. It's really not. Especially if when they pick, if they don't have a good feeling for the person that's there or the players that are there, try to trade back and stockpile more draft picks. That's definitely not a bad idea. Definitely not a bad idea. Williams said the seat already hot this year. Yeah. They coming into the new year with a hot seat. You're right about that, bro. You are definitely right about that. It's gonna be playoffs or bust for Fontenot and Raheem Morris. You know what I'm saying? Y'all know I was a big proponent of them getting another year. They got another year, but now you gotta show some of the year now, because neither one getting any more passes from me. You know what I'm saying? They get no more passes from me. I thought it was fair to both that they get another season. All right, now it's time to shake and bake. If y'all can't get the job done, you start off slow, fire your ass, and move on. That's where I'm at with it. You know what I'm saying? That's where I'm at with it. Hey, you're gonna have to shake something. You're gonna have to show something this year. You start off shaky again, 3-5, stuff like that. All right, get these guys out of here, man. Get them out of here. Get them out of here. Mark 7. Yeah, man, we only about a month away from the start of the new league year. And we will have some Kirk Cousins news by then. We will know what we're doing by that date. Larry says, I'm going to be honest, Todd, a very unpopular idea, but if I'm going to pay Kirk to leave, I'm going to keep him so he has to answer to the local media. I'm also getting a backup QB so he won't play. I've seen other people say that before. Like, man, I would just bench Kirk. Like, bro, nah. I'll give you this little $10 million roster bonus, but you're going to sit the bench, my dog. You're not finna skate off, make this money, and we cut you, and then you go to a team and you're choosing and do the vet minimum like Russell Wilson did and help that team be better. I mean, I can see that. I don't think the Falcons will do that, but that's not a I know you said an unpopular opinion, but that's not a real, like a out of the ordinary idea either. You know what I'm saying? I could see your line of thinking in saying that. I've seen other people say that too. I mean, there is some sense in that. There says Kirk wants to be released, and I'm not giving him what he wants. If we end up paying him anyway, yeah, he definitely want to be released. He would rather be released and traded. It's almost like he trying to get us back for draft appendix at this point. That's what it seems like. He trying to get his little revenge now. Have y'all seen Kirk Instagram? That man just done turned to a spokesperson. That dude got so many commercials and paid sponsorships on his Instagram. I'm like, God damn, Kurt, like, boy, you already done made $300 million in the NFL, and you do a whole interview, a whole commercial like every other day. That Kirk Cousins be getting to that money, boy. Us Kirk do not play about that money. The bag man. Tonio Henderson in the bed. What's going on, Tonio? What's happening with you, brother? Williams said Kirk old ass has to go. And War said he agree with you, Larry. Keep it petty. Keep it very, very, very petty. Kurt Miller said Kurt want to retire here, right? Oh, he gonna retire. Man, Kirk Cousins is so full of shit, man. Golly. I cannot believe that I actually thought that was a good idea. Now, okay, I gotta be transparent if I'm gonna talk about Kirk Cousins. Now, as I was just saying, I thought it was a bad idea to draft Bijan over Carter. I gotta be transparent. I was totally wrong on the Kirk Cousins thing. I really thought that was a good signing, y'all. I gotta raise my hand. I gotta accept full responsibility for that. And it was a good bit of y'all saying like, man, that dog, this dude, oh, he coming off Achilles. Why in the world we gonna get this guy this kind of money? It was plenty of people that told me that this was a bad idea. And for those people, you were absolutely right. I remember somebody saying, like, what sense does it make to trade a 36-year-old and re-sign a 36-year-old coming off a Achilles injury? You guys, people who had that train of thought, you were absolutely right, and I was absolutely wrong. I really thought the Kirk Cousins signing was a good idea. But it was, in hindsight is 2020, but it was a travesty. And it was a road that we should have never traveled. I wish we would have never traveled it, but we did. But it was a bad idea in hindsight. Thankfully, we only gotta suffer the repercussions for that for one more year, and we can be out off of that monster contract of him. Bad signing, man. Terrible signing. It's a note, make it retire for the Falcons. So y'all all for being petty, huh? What's up, Noah? Says release trade on Falcons. Don't need this garbage ass on the team. Noah said, get him out of here. Brian says, sit his punk ass down like get it time. Oh, man. Oh, y'all are wild. Tyree said, let's play hardball with Kurt. Let him rock. Keep him away from the team, though. Hey, man, what's that list that the NFL teams put you on when they kind of keep you on the contract, but they don't want you in a facility? I forget what it's called. But there's some kind of designation that they can give you. Like, yeah, we still got to pay you. You still on the team. You can't sign with nobody. But just don't come to practice, bro. Just stay at home with the kids, man. Don't come to practice, dog. Just hey, yeah, we got to pay you, but just stay away. Don't come to Flowery Branch. Larry said he is being spiteful since we drafted Penix 200%. But I blame Raheem and Terry because they see him throwing the ball 27 miles per hour, and that's the slowest in NFL history. Yeah, it was definitely a bad signing, as I just mentioned, man. And I was all on board with signing him when it happened, but boy, was I wrong. Goodness. You know, Kurt last about 10 weeks before he fell off the cliff, and he got hurt or he didn't get hurt. Who knows? And Kirk Cousins is a hustler. He's a finesser, part-time con man, part-time quarterback. He sure got us this year, bro, and I hate it. Noah says Falcons would get 10% better if Kirk gets released. And that's plausible that it would happen that we do end up releasing him. William says I'm not keeping that snowflake on my roster. Tony said I bring in who? I think your sentence probably dropped off. Noah says, yep, that's what I said. Don't trust chokers like Kirk Cousins, especially with the Achilles injury. Boy, Kirk Cousins, man. Don't know what to say about that joker, bro. Do not know what to say about him, man. That he done stole money from the team. That tricked us into sign his ass, bro. And that's another one. Miller says, yeah, Tyler, he got one more year just to eat it and make his ass sit, draft and sign another young quarterback and make his ass teach. Hey, man, Terry might get petty like that, bro. You never know. William said he robbed Minnesota wouldn't make y'all think he was going to give us playoff spot. It's hard to come back from injury like that. It's funny you say that, William, because, man, I'm going to tell you, bro. I can't tell you how many Minnesota Vikings fans tried to warn me, like, bro, Kurt ain't what you. Kurt is not what you think he is. They kept telling me, man, Kurt all by himself, bro. Like he gonna have these moments when he look like Tom Brady, but when it really matter, he gonna come up small, man. So many Vikings fans told me this, man. I mean, so many, and I was lost in the sauce of wanting to be optimistic that what they were saying I would not allow to resonate with me. And if they do happen to hear this, you Minnesota Vikings fan, you guys were absolutely right. I remember I was all hyped, but Kirk told me, he was like, and people telling me, Vikings fan, like, that's the best you're gonna get. Ain't gonna be no Kirk Vember or Kirk Simber. It damn sure ain't gonna be no Kirk January. Like Kirk Tober, that's all you're gonna get, and it's all downhill. And boy, they were absolutely right. Absolutely, positively correct. Absolutely correct. Antonio says, bring in McCoy from Syracuse. He's a great back, arm, and accuracy of pocket passer. With the fourth pick, and watch Cousins looking crazy throwing in the practice score. I gotta look at some tape and some film on him. I'm not familiar with him, but I definitely trust your analysis, Antonio. I gotta do some homework on him. But we're gonna have to bring in somebody, man. Excuse me. We definitely gonna have to bring in somebody. William said I want to see production this year. I ain't gonna say that, William. I don't wish that on nobody. Larry says Kurt was a stripper in his pants. Like, oh man. He sweet talk Raheem off the blade to give up the bag, and there's no sex in the champagne room. I'm in love with a stripper. Tyrese said, let's let him turn into a full-time ping pong player. And apparently he ain't that good. He trash. Winston, his agent need to shut up. Man, I think it like a probably around this time next month, man, there's gonna be like a major announcement on Kirk Cousins. The Falcons gonna either announce they're gonna release him, trade him, or his team will formally request a trade. But this time, around this time next month, there will be some definitive Kirk Cousins news that comes out, man. So I'm pretty sure of that. It's funny how Kurt was taking on the persona of the urban ATL. Then once we started to lose bottom up, Kurt returned. All that money he done spent from teams, Larry, he done learn how to be a comedian, bro, for sure. For sure. Jeremy says we don't have enough picks to draft the backup. See, what you think? We're gonna sign one in free agency? Yeah, he only got one playoff win in his 12, 13 year career. Notice that the Magic City Light must got him low key from 63 to 78. Shout out to Magic City in the building. I must say that I was a Follies day shift veteran in my earlier years. Boy, I had me some times. Follies, boy, day shift. Oh man, rest in peace to Follies. Such a historic establishment, outskirts of Atlanta, Georgia, boy. I'm telling you, that day shift at Follies, y'all, that was just like when people say Atlanta is not a real place. Let me shut up, bro. I'll talk myself in trouble. I ain't finna get in trouble, Mr. Joe. All right, but yeah, I'm gonna get ready to wrap up. We almost 2 hours in. Also, I want to come and talk about what's been the talk of social media since the Super Bowl. The Kendrick Lamar halftime show. Y'all want to talk about it before I get out of here, or just not something that y'all want to discuss? Let me know. Because that has social media in a chokehold since that performance. So let me know, do we need to talk about that K-Dot performance? Or let me know. Oh, said it was trash. Of course you say that, Coach. Larry says, when Toddy is looking up in the sky at the memories he had at time. Oh my God. Man, boy. There's an old saying that says you never know what you got until it's gone. I'm just gonna say that. You never know what you got until it's gone. And man. Yeah, for good times in my younger years as pilots, man. Day shift veteran, bro. I never go there for the night shift. That's when all the entertainers and athletes coming there flexing their money. No way, Jose. My money was nowhere near that long. I go to day shift with all those regular people. You know what I'm saying? But night shift, no, boy, you gotta let the big ballers have that. Gotta let them have that. Miller Mill said it was trash. Okay, so two people say the Kendrick show was trash. Noah says Kendrick Cook Drake was singing Not Like Us with the crowd sending Drake from my pit. Yeah, they definitely hit that A minor line. They was waiting on that. Jeremy says I see a lot of hate on Kate on Dot, but I love it. But I'm a Kung Fu Kenny fan. I respect it. I could definitely dig it. Larry says no strokers, Blue Flame. I went to strokers like twice, I think. Yeah, I've been there. What's that? Cheshire Bridge, I think. Yeah, I've been to strokers like twice. I've been to Blue Flame. I like the Flame. You know, I was hitting the Flame up back when Larry, when it was before it turned the club Crucial. What was it called before Crucial? The Bounce. Back when the Bounce was there. We go to the Bounce and go to the Blue Flame. There's good times in the Flame too, man. Real good times in the Flame, man. Man, yeah, some good times in the Flame. Oh man, goodness, boy. Cole said, I mean, it was this fool just walked around in bell bottoms. It was bland. I wanted seasoned chicken banging on Kendrick. Larry says, I like the Kendrick halftime show. Okay. So Larry said, hey, man, I dig it, man. Y'all tripping. Miller said the crowd was singing shit with him. The F was y'all watching. Rocket Road. Okay. Thank you, Brian. Appreciate it, bro. I hadn't been a stroker since early 2000s. It's been a long time. Definitely over 12 years ago. Man, once I found Fathers, I was hooked, bro. I was like, hey, man, ain't no need for me to go nowhere. I was dedicated to Fathers at one point. Boy, let me get off that, boy. Y'all ain't gonna get me in trouble. Strokers in Clarkston. Cole said the crowd was not singing, moving, or anything. What are you saying? Noah says Kendrick pretty much won the world to call in Drake a PDF file in front of 126 million viewers. Platinum 21 and pinups. Somebody goes, yeah. I never went to Platinum 21, but I did go to pinups a couple times. Did pinups have $5 dances at one point in time, bro? This might way back in the day, not recently. I ain't been in a long time. All right, so I'm gonna give y'all my thoughts on the Kendrick Lamar halftime show. I won't keep you here long. We're gonna go ahead and wrap this up. I'm gonna say this. Y'all know I like to give y'all full transparency. Full transparency, I'm a Kendrick Lamar fan. Full transparency. So that way y'all know which way I'm coming. I am a Kendrick Lamar fan. Full transparency. Fan of his music. I'm a fan of his music. As far as the halftime performance went, I'm gonna start say this as far as the halftime show went. The Super Bowl, I think, is the most watched televised event every year. I think it's the most watched televised event. outside of like FIBA World Cup stuff like that. But the Super Bowl, y'all correct me, am I wrong? Am I right in saying that the Super Bowl is the most watched event and the most watched televised event on an annual basis? Am I right in saying that, y'all? 115, 120, 125 million people every single year. And am I correct in that obvious assumption? Miller says you're right. Okay, thank you, Miller. Yeah, and yeah, that's why I said outside of the World Cup, outside of the World Cup. Okay, so Cole said, yeah, it is. Okay, so with that said, this is where I'm gonna go with this. This is an event that, for lack of better words, everybody is watching. Everybody is watching this event. And see what happens is you have every demographic come together on this one Sunday in February to watch football. You have the diehard football fans like we are, us crazy diehards, like all of us are. We're the crazy diehards. You have the casuals. They casually watch the NFL. You have the oblivious fans who they just know it's the Super Bowl. My people having a Super Bowl party, so hey man, I'm about to get dressed up and go to the Super Bowl party, So you have everybody from the casuals to the diehards to the people who are not even really NFL fans, but they understand that this Sunday is a unofficial American holiday that I partake in every year, but I'm not an NFL fan. Only thing I know about the Chiefs is they got a good quarterback and they have a guy on their team who dates Taylor Swift. That's as far as that they know about football. So you got every demographic coming in and watching. So as far as the halftime show goes, there is going to be a segment or a demographic of people who are going to be disappointed no matter who performs. Now, I'm going to ask y'all this and help me out with this, please. In fact, let's turn this music down a little bit. I'm going to ask y'all this. In the modern social media technology era, has there been a Super Bowl performance where the consensus of people have said, that was dope, that was good, that was great, that was excellent? Can anybody pinpoint any one performer where everyone was almost in unison, all demographics saying, that was it, I love that? Outside of Prince, y'all let me know in the comments. Has there ever been that one performer where everybody was in agreement, like, yeah, that was it? That was it. Outside of Prince, Miller Mill said Rihanna. From my vantage point, Millie, I'm gonna disagree. Because I know on my timeline when Rihanna performed, bro, man, I saw people lining Rihanna up, man, for real. I seen people saying, man, she up there devil worshiping. I seen a good, I ain't gonna say a lot, but I seen a good bit of people saying, man, she doing devil worship stuff up there. She worshiping the devil. That's the satanic rituals that she up there doing. All that red, she worshiping the devil, man. This is, they were appalled. I seen some people saying, man, why she went up there pregnant? She couldn't move. Like, oh, that was boring. So for me, from my perspective, I didn't see it with Rihanna. I seen Rihanna get a good amount of flack for her performance. nor since the weekend. I also saw people were disappointed with the weekend's performance. Excuse me. I saw some people that were dissatisfied with the weekend. You know, um, Coach says to MJ. Well, remember, Coach, social media era. Um, social media era. I think MJ performed way before social media came. Also says Prince. Yeah, we said Prince. Outside of MJ and Prince, from what I saw, everybody was cool with Prince. Prince was a very universally liked by different demographics. Uh, Janet, Drea, Snoop, hell, almost all of them. Now, I'm definitely gonna disagree with you on that, Coach, for sure. The Janet halftime show. Are we talking about the one with Justin Timberlake? Is that the one you talking about, Coach, with Justin? If that's the one with Justin, that one definitely was heavily criticized for obvious reasons. Dre and Snoop. Dre and Snoop was one of my favorite ones, but I'm telling you, I seen a large portion demographic of people did not like Dre and Snoop. Oh man, Snoop up there, he doing this gang stuff, and oh man, what is this? I didn't like this. Oh man, and you got Eminem up there, he's kneeling. I seen a lot of people destroy Snoop and Dre's performance. Me personally, I loved it. I put that up there as one of my all-time favorites. But I seen a lot of people absolutely destroy the Snoop and Dre performance. Worst Super Bowl performance of all time. Worst Super Bowl performance of all time. I seen a lot of people say that about Snoop and Dre. Especially when Snoop started throwing up that C and crip walking, and I see a lot of people did not like Snoop and Dre. Coach, so you said most like, not that you seen some that didn't like it. No, very majority liked the performance. Honestly, man, Coach, I really had seen one outside of Prince in the social media era, and I'm being totally honest. Where like the consensus, the extreme vast majority of people enjoyed it. There was always a demographic of people who felt that they did not enjoy the performance, whether that been Maroon 5 performing, like when Maroon 5 did in Atlanta. I heard, man, why did Maroon 5? That's boring. This fuck Maroon 5. Coldplay, man, who the fuck listen to Coldplay? Man, this boy whack. Beyonce, oh man, Beyonce, oh, this is not good. There's always a demographic of people outside of Prince, from my vantage point, who have had a loud outcry of why they didn't like the Super Bowl. Now remember, we talking about 115 million plus people watching this from all demographics now. And I'm saying all demographics for a reason, because we have to look outside of our circle. You know, like on my social media page, I got a lot of different demographics of people on there. So maybe I have an advantage of seeing certain demographics that everybody don't see. You know, I got everybody from the $1 million real estate investors to cats that's still in the trap, and everything in between, from housewives to baby mamas. I got them all in my social media matrix. And I've always seen a vast amount of people dissatisfied and very vocal about their dissatisfaction. Again, you got the most people watching an event. And as soon as that event is over, they can do this. Get on this device here and tell everybody how much it sucked. And they can do it instantly. Press of a button. So for me personally, outside of Prince, I haven't seen anybody that has been really universally accepted. Nobody. I remember after Beyonce did the Christmas halftime event not long ago, she got lit up. I remember when Lady Gaga did our Super Bowl, she got blistered. I mean, she got blistered when she did ours. That was Justin Timberlake. Oh man, Timberlake played out. Nobody listen to Justin Timberlake no more. Man, can we get some rappers up here? Y'all never had no hip hop. Can we get some rap? I don't listen to no damn Justin Timberlake. Well, when Dre and Snoop got out there, oh well, what is this? Nobody want to hear this hip hoppity hop hop stuff. Can we get some YouTube back here? Some Travis Tritt? What the Dre and Snoop? Who the hell is that? Want to hear none of that hip hop bullshit? What the, And I remember when Shakira and Jennifer Lopez did it. I'm not a fan of any one of their music, but I enjoyed the performance. I liked it. But I seen so many people, Shakira, Jennifer Lopez, she can't dance. My point is really like, in the times we live in now with such a large audience and everybody having a phone and they're able to get their opinion out to the world, I've never seen anybody but Prince like where everybody was like, yeah, this is it. And Larry said, look, I seen some people not like Prince. And Larry actually hit on the point I'm trying to make. No one is happy with Super Bowl performances. Nobody. Because, and the reason I brought up how many people view it, because again, y'all remember, every demographic is watching this. There were tens of millions of people watching last night who don't know who the fuck Kendrick Lamar is. They don't know who he is. They ain't heard about no beef with Drake. They don't even know who Drake is. But they watched the Super Bowl because they've been watching it since the 60s and the 70s. And they also got the privilege of telling you it was trash. Same with Dre and Snoop. It was trash. Cowboy Carter, trash. U2, trash. Katy Perry, trash. So I really haven't seen again, outside of Prince, where like everybody was kind of like, yeah, this was tight. This was tight. Now, going back to Kendrick. I'm going to say this about rappers. In performances like this, I think rappers have a disadvantage. Because one, you only got about 12 or 13 minutes. And you got to catch these people's attention in 12, 13 minutes. Rappers have a disadvantage because rap music is probably the only genre of music where the main artist or the headline artist is expected to just walk around with a microphone. When Shakira and J-Lo went up there, they danced and sung. When Usher went up there, he danced and sung. When Prince went up there, he played the guitar. But a rapper, the expectation is walk with the mic and rap. The era of rap music when you rap and dance is dead. Respectfully. Heavy D and the Boys, Kid and Play, MC Hammer. You try that now, you will be booed off the stage. That era is gone. Where rappers dance. So rappers are expected to pick up a mic, walk around the stage. Whereas a guy like Usher, hey man, I could dance, and sing. I could put on a show. I'm expected to come out here and dance. Beyonce come out there, you expect Beyonce to dance. Bruno Mars come out there, you expect to hear him on that guitar. It's like when Usher came out there with Her. Man, I remember I was like, boy, Her was playing the hell out of that guitar. I was in love. But y'all heard her playing the guitar? I was about to say, hey, Tyler, that wasn't her playing the guitar, bro. That was just, that wasn't her actually playing. I'm like, for real? Like, yeah, she was not playing the guitar. I'm like, oh, damn. But shit, she still looked good. I don't give a damn. But I was lost in the illusion that she was playing the guitar to the point where I was like, damn, that was spectacular. She was playing that guitar good as fuck. But the rapper, that's not an expectation. That's not something rappers do. You pick up the mic, hip, hip, you know what I'm saying? That's it. That's all they got. They'll do that little strut like Kendrick was doing last night. But he wasn't really dancing. He was doing this little 1-2, trying to be in unison with his background. Now, Coach says Dre put on a show still. Let's go there, Coach. I'm glad you brought that up, Coach. Let's go there, Coach. I'm glad you brought that up. I'm so glad you brought that one up. Dre was one of my all-time favorites. Cole said Dre put on the show. Now, let's talk through this, guys. And ladies, let's talk through this. Did Dr. Dre actually put on a great show, or did nostalgia take over? I'll ask you this again. Did Dr. Dre put on a great show performance-wise, or did nostalgia take over? Did the fact that we have not seen Dr. Dre on a stage in 20 years, and he played some songs that took us back to our youth when we were getting into all kind of who knows what with who knows who, and boy, that nostalgia just took over. Oh boy, when it dropped, boy, I was, woo, boy, I was, and I had to go, woo. Did he put on a performance for the ages, or did nostalgia just kick in? Because, again, that was one of my favorite ones. I went back and watched that show. Not taking anything away from the icon that Dr. Dre is. I was raised on his music. I'm not slighting him. I went back and watched that show multiple times before Kendrick performed and after Kendrick performed. The only thing Dr. Dre did, one, he barely spoke a word. Out of the lyrics that were performed, his performance percentage in those 12 or 13 minutes was probably about 10%. He barely spoke. That's a fact. He barely spoke. That's a fact. Dr. Dre just got the mic. He rapped the next episode to start. Snoop stepped in. And then he rapped Still DRE to finish. He did like 16 bars out of a 13-minute show. Dre didn't do no dancing. He just was on top of a house. Still DRE, still DRE, still DRE. What was so dynamic and inspiring about that? Did he put on a great performance, or did nostalgia kick in? Another thing about Dr. Dre's show, as I just said, Dre only performed about 10% of all the lyrics during his entire set. Dr. Dre had all A-list stars in his set. Snoop Dogg, 50 Cent, Kendrick Lamar, Mary J. Blige, and Eminem. Was it Dr. Dre's performance that was so great, or was it nostalgia combined with his guests were all people who could have headlined the Super Bowl themselves? So was his performance really that outstanding, or was it just nostalgia and star power that powered that performance? Because you started out with Dre and Snoop, then bam, all of a sudden you got 50 Cent. And nobody, 50 there, oh shit, you can find me in the club, body for the dub, 50 could have headlined the show himself. Then after that, you got Kendrick. We gonna be all right. We gonna be all right. And then, oh damn, they go Kendrick, they go K-Dot. Oh shit. Then from K-Dot, you got Mary. She doing that dance, got on her little skirt or whatever. Mary looking good. Why that Mary J? Woo. Then all of a sudden, Slim Shady is singing that stand. So I ask you again, was Dre's performance that spectacular, or was that just nostalgia and star power? Dre had a legendary ensemble of guests. That's how iconic Dre is, that he got everybody under him as guests who could have headlined themselves. Mary could have headlined. M could have headlined. Snoop could have headlined. Kendrick eventually did headline. Eminem. When you watch that performance, if you honest with yourself, wasn't that really immaculate about what Dr. Dre or nobody really did. Everybody who rapped, did exactly what Kendrick did last night. They just got a mic. Yep. Mary J is the only one that danced and actually moved and performed. She's the only one. All the other rappers, and please don't nobody sit here and say, "Oh man, that Eminem, woo." Eminem didn't have no background dancers. He ain't had no background dancers. Don't try to cap him up like he did so special. Dre had the fact that you had seen Dre in 20 years on the stage. We miss you, Dre. Where you been, boy? We ain't seen you in 20 years. It's good to see you, Dre. You're healthy. You know what I'm saying? You're looking good. Yeah, this is when I was still in the clubs. We were playing this. Oh, they go Snoop, they go 50, they go Eminem. How can you fail with that kind of star power behind you, bro? He had a cheat code. I'm just keeping it real. Dr. Dre had a cheat code because that's Dr. Dre. That's Dr. Dre. That's Dre. That's Dre. But y'all go back and look at that with this same perspective in mind. You know, there was nothing Dre did. Coach said, so there's many ways I can tell you you're wrong. How am I wrong, Coach? Point out something that I said that wasn't correct, or that was incorrect that I said, Coach. Everything that I said was factual. Now, if like you say, you could point out something where I'm wrong, I'll say, you know what, you're right about that. Something that's not opinion based. If you say it was dope and I say, well, all it was is nostalgia, that can't be proven, because at that point we're arguing our opinions. But you can't sit here and tell me, well, no, man, Eminem was dancing. He was actually performing, bro. He wasn't. You can't sit here and say, well, no, Dre did more than just rap like 10% of all the lyrics. No, he didn't. Dre barely spoke. Snoop didn't do a whole, but Snoop just was Snoop. You know, he was just doing his little 1-2 thing. 1-2. But other than that, that's really what it was. Go up and check my comments. Okay. Dre having others there is the whole reason K-Dot shouldn't have had show in the first place. He has never been a performer. But but see, that's opinion, Coach. That's opinion. K-Dot shouldn't have been the show in the first place. That's your opinion. That doesn't mean I'm wrong. You have not proved anything that I'm saying is wrong. You just are stating your opinion. That all I'm saying is here is everything you're saying is based on opinion. He has never been a performer, nor does he have hits with others. When you say performer, that's what I mean about rappers. Rappers are at a disadvantage at a show like that, because they it's not commonplace in the rap community to actually perform and entertain outside of rhyming. Go look at Mary J during the Dr. Dre set. She's the only one that is literally performing outside of singing. She's the only one that's dancing with her background dancers. All the other rappers are just, yep, I'm the man, yep, I'm the man, 1, 2 to 2 to 3 to 4. That's all the rappers are doing. That's all the rappers are doing. That's why I say rappers are at a disadvantage at a show like this, because they're just expected to rap. You're not expected to play an instrument. You're not expected to dance. You're just expected to walk around and tell everybody how dope you is on the MIC. Can't nobody mess with me. You hear me? That's all rappers are expected to do. Now you go to a rapper's concert, and 99.9% of the people that are at the concert are fans of the music. So they're cool with you just walking around telling everybody how dope you are. But in a setting like that, when you got a vast demographic of different people, a rapper is at a disadvantage. They're not playing any instruments. Prince came out that guitar. Ain't nobody doing that. Larry says Kendrick actually dancing on Not Like Us with background dancers. Dre didn't do shit. Everyone he brought was the main part. Larry, that's what I've been saying. And I agree with you, Larry. And even still, Dr. Dre's set is one of my favorite all-time sets because I'm a big hip-hop fan. But if I'm looking at it for what it was, it's like, well, Dre didn't really do anything. Literally, he didn't really do anything. He had an all-star ensemble. He had a dream team there with him. Man, you bring Eminem. Eminem is the highest selling rapper in history. That's a cheat code by itself, having Slim Shady with you, and he's a guest. Then you got 50 Cent, who got a diamond album. The queen of R&B, Mary J. It's everybody else that did what Dre did. Dr. Dre thing, when you get past the obvious of the nostalgia, that's what it mostly was, nostalgia. You had seen Dre in 20 years. It was good to see him out there. And he had a legendary cast of people there with him. Yeah, of course that was dope. You got all these heavyweights. You got all these A-list legendary people. Everybody's legendary. Everybody is legendary. Now, I'm not here to try to convince you to like the Kendrick Lamar show, because if you didn't like it, you didn't like it. I ain't gonna try to convince you to like it either. That ain't my job. Kendrick Lamar or who he signed to? TDE, PG Lane, they don't send me no checks. Hey man, you need to convince people to like this show. I'm not here to convince you to like it. Just like me thinking it was a dope show, nobody's gonna convince me otherwise. You know, you're not gonna convince me that it wasn't dope, because I did like it. I did enjoy it. I'm a rap fan. So I especially like Dre and Snoop and everybody else because I like rap music. I like Kendrick. I like rap music. I didn't need them to be out there dancing and playing instruments. I just like the fact that rap is on the biggest stage. That was good enough for me. Rap is finally on the biggest stage. That as a person who came up in the golden era of hip hop, I was in school in the 90s during the golden era when nobody thought about putting rap as the headline of a Super Bowl. I was happy to see Dre and Snoop up there. Oh man, that's dope. I was happy to see Kate out there. Oh, that's dope. I also know if you go to a Kendrick Lamar concert where he don't have the restraints of censoring himself, you're gonna see a different show. I also don't put that much stock into a halftime show. Ever since the 1980s, I watch the Super Bowl for the game. The game between the teams. This halftime show stuff, that's just a bonus. It's not even that deep to me. There's really not a show that I can honestly say that I thought was trash. I like J-Lo. I like Shakira. I'm not a fan of their music, but okay, that's cool for the halftime, I guess. That's straight. That's cool. That's straight, you know. Maroon 5, I gotta be honest, I didn't really see theirs. I was out in Los Angeles at a bar watching, so I really didn't really gather it. The Weeknd is pretty straight. Rihanna, I thought it was dope. For me, I never see nobody with, oh man, that's trash, that's terrible, that's horrible. Urgh. It never been that deep to me. Because I'm there to watch the game. This is just extra for me. All right, cool. You know, some I like more than others, some I dislike more than others, but it's never been that serious to me. Now, the Kendrick Drake rap battle brought a whole nother element of this. It brought a whole nother element of this. Drake, again, I'm a Kendrick fan. I thought Kendrick won the battle with Drake. And I'm telling y'all this all up front to be transparent with you. You know what I'm saying? So you know my bias is up front before I go into the juice of what I'm saying. Okay, he a Kendrick fan. All right. Well, I'm being honest with you. I'm a Kendrick fan. Drake is first off, Drake is a spectacular artist. All the battle and beefing beside Drake is a spectacular artist. He got hits for days. Can't take that away from the guy. That battle was so intense and so personal, and fans took sides to the point where Drake's fan base is so large that Drake's fans automatically were not going to like whatever Kendrick did. Before the show started, it was already the worst show that they had ever seen because he battled their favorite rapper. And they were not going to give him a win in anything. Not only did he battle their favorite rapper, He beat their favorite rapper. He embarrassed their favorite rapper. And he was going to go on the biggest stage in the world and continue to embarrass their favorite rapper. So it's like, man, fuck you, K-Dot. Really, fuck you. I'm not finna sit up here in A minor. Fuck that. So, no matter what Kendrick did, he was not going to get a win with certain people. Kendrick, and I say this respectfully, no blasphemy, rest everybody's soul. But Kendrick could have brought back Whitney Houston, Tupac, Bob Marley, Kurt Cobain, Elvis Presley. Some people go, trash. It's still trash. He could have brought all the legends back. They still would have said it's trash because they're Drake fans. They're not finna give Kendrick no wins. It's not gonna happen. Everything you put out, you think you finna go on the Super Bowl and embarrass Drake? No, bro, you trash. So a lot of what you're seeing is from disgruntled Drake fans. A lot of that is disgruntled Drake fans. They weren't gonna give him the time of the day. They had already made up their mind it was trash before he even got up there. Then you had another thing that really, I'm gonna use the word disappointed because I was really disappointed. Being a rap fan, I was really just happy that hip hop was at the Super Bowl, bro. I really was. They could have brought Drake up there. I'd have been happy. Okay, hip hop up here. Hip hop is up here. But I was real disappointed when Kendrick got announced. And I'm talking to the hip hop community on this one and the rappers. When they announced Kendrick up there, everybody tried to get all territorial. Oh, well, why? Why you ain't choosing Lil Wayne? It's in New Orleans. That's not how the Super Bowl operates. This is not the local birthday bash. This is not the city's 4th of July concert. This is not the celebration of your city's birthday. This is the Super Bowl. It's not a tradition for a rapper from the host city to be a headliner. That has never been the case. And I know somebody, whoa, what about Dr. Dre in LA? I got you. Because it happened once doesn't mean that's the normal. That means it's an outlier. If it happens twice, you got a point. But if it happens once in 30 plus years, that's an outlier. Should not be the expectation because it happened once in 30 plus years. And also because that is Dr. Dre. That is because Dr. Dre can bring everybody who should headline a Super Bowl and make them a guest under his set. I'm sorry, but Lil Wayne can't do that. He ain't got that juice. He ain't got that status in the game. I'm sorry. And Lil Wayne is top 5, top 7, depending on the day of the week, dead or alive in my book. So this is no slander to Weezy. Depending on the day, Dwayne is top 5, top 7, dead or alive in my book. But to see all the crab in the bucket mentality of why not Lil Wayne, it was highly disappointing and highly disingenuous. Very disingenuous and very fake to me. That's not how the Super Bowl operates. When it came to Atlanta, Maroon 5 ain't from not one zone in Atlanta. The last time I was in New Orleans, Beyonce, last time I checked, Houston, Texas. All them other pop groups and rock bands, they were not at their hometown. And you know what? Those other genres, they did not make that such a big deal. It was only the hip hop community that turned crabs in the bucket. Oh, well, it's in New Orleans, so Lil Wayne got to do the show. No, that's not the local birthday bash. That's the Super Bowl. That's not the birthday bash. That's not how this works. It never worked like that. Outside of one time with Dre. That's it. And I love Wayne. I done paid Ticketmaster twice to see Lil Wayne in concert in Atlanta. Then bought all his albums back when we was buying physical copies. Big Lil Wayne fan. But the fact that people was upset of what transpired in the Kendrick and Drake beef, they tried to play like, well, Lil Wayne should get it. No, he shouldn't get it. I strongly advise you to go look at some recent Lil Wayne performances. Y'all say Kendrick won a good performance. Well, some people say Kendrick won a good performer. You must ain't seen Lil Wayne recently performing. Lil Wayne has teleprompters up there because he can't remember his lyrics. Lil Wayne has fell off drastically when it comes to performing. Lil Wayne also has a very, very bad reputation of non-professionalism when it comes to his shows, his concerts. Simply Google Lil Wayne walks off stage. You will see a litany of different incidents where Lil Wayne got upset and walked off the stage. All of that is to be considered when you're bringing in an act for the most important day in televised American history. Are you professionalism? Can you actually do the job proficiently? Are you dependable? It's easy to strike Lil Wayne for all that stuff, and I love Weezy. Big Lil Wayne fan. Grew up on Cash Money. I'm a Cash Money millionaire. Started like my daddy. All that. Me and baby like Pocket Big, Sugar, all that stuff, man. Way back with Wayne. So no, Lil Wayne wasn't the right person just because it was in New Orleans. When it go to California next year, I don't expect anybody from California to get the show. When it come back to Atlanta in a few years, I don't expect Outkast to get the show. Because it's never been like that. Outside of Drake, out their year. But because Drake is so big, people were so upset of how that beef turned out. They wanted anybody up there but Kendrick. So if they got to lean on Lil Wayne, knowing that he ain't a great performer, well, we'll lean on Lil Wayne. Hell, Drake was under his label at one time anyway. So let's try to pretend that Lil Wayne was cheated and he deserved to be there. And let's try to make a big deal out of it. No. I see people talking about, well, No Limit and bring out the No Limit crew and the Hot Boys. No way, Jose. This is the Super Bowl. Only starters. No JV, no ninth grader. Only the starters. I don't need to see BG and Turk in the Super Bowl. I don't need to see Matt and Mil X at the Super Bowl. I do not need to see Lil Boosie in the Super Bowl as the headliner. I'm sorry. You say that for the birthday bash, for that particular city. You say that for Essence Fest. I don't need to see no JV, no ninth graders, only the starters. I didn't want to see the underlings. Didn't want to see no underlings. Only the starters, no JV, no ninth graders. And again, I'm not trying to convince you to like the Kendrick performance, because ultimately that's up to you. If you didn't like it, you didn't like it. And I'm not going to try to convince you anyway. Of any different. Just like me, I liked it. There's nobody that gonna convince me the show was bad. It's not gonna happen. because I enjoyed the show. I liked the show. Was that Kendrick's best performance? Absolutely not. But again, it's the Super Bowl. Rappers are at a disadvantage at the Super Bowl. That's probably not the best place to put a rapper, especially when you got to rap and censor yourself at the same time. It's probably not the best place to put a rap artist. You go back and watch Dre and Snoop and everybody else performing, they didn't do nothing special. They had to censor themselves too. But the pop stars and the singers, man, they can sing their songs. We ain't doing all these cussing every 2 or 3 words. We good. We ain't got to worry about all this censoring. We good. Another thing, and I'm about to wrap this up. Appreciate y'all rocking with me. Another thing that I've seen people say, well, I couldn't pick up the lyrics of what he was saying. I couldn't pick up the lyrics. I couldn't follow the lyrics. Duh. You're not a Kendrick Lamar fan. That you are stating the most obvious thing in the world. If Taylor Swift go up there next year, I'm not gonna be able to pick up no Taylor Swift lyrics because I don't listen to Taylor Swift. If Billie Eilish go up there next year, I'm not gonna be able to pick up her lyrics because I do not listen to her. The younger generation, they like Playboi Carti as a rapper. If he go up there next year, I'm not gonna be able to pick up Playboi Carti lyrics because I don't listen to him. If you're not familiar with the artists and the songs, you can't pick up the lyrics on the fly. You know, that's so obvious. If people, I could pick up the lyrics. No shit, Sherlock. You ain't a fan of the person. If Garth Brooks go up there next year, I ain't gonna know what the hell Garth's saying. I don't know his lyrics. I don't know his songs. I do not listen to Garth Brooks. Travis Tritt kick back up there. I don't know what the hell Travis is saying. I don't know them lyrics. I can't follow what Travis is saying. So when people say, well, I couldn't pick up the lyrics, well, no shit, Sherlock. You're not a fan. The fans of Kendrick Lamar, they knew exactly what he was saying before he said it. But at the end of the day, you're really not going to please all of them. You're not going to please 120 million plus people. There's going to be a large percent of people who going to cry foul because of so many people. Think about it this way. If 120 million people watching every year and you only got to sell 1 million to be considered a smash success, 1 million albums count as platinum. That's a hit. You've accomplished something very noteworthy. You only need 1 million, but 120 million plus are watching. That the numbers itself tell you that more people are going to dislike it than like it. You can bring up the country stars, the pop stars, the biggest raps. They can bring Drake up next year. There's gonna be a lot of people that's not gonna like the Drake performance, no matter what he does, no matter what he said. You can bring up Kanye, Taylor Swift, whoever you want to. There's gonna be a large majority of people who are not gonna like it. They're gonna be very vocal on why they didn't like it. But me personally, I like the K-Dot performance a lot. You know, I enjoyed how it went. I enjoyed the symbolism of it. I enjoyed being rebellious. But again, I'm a hip-hop fan. I was in like 7th grade when Outkast's first album came out. I come from the golden era. I come from Biggie, Pac, Wu-Tang, Bone, CL Smooth, Nas, Jay-Z. That's the era I come from. I'm a hip-hop golden era baby. So when that hip-hop get up there, hey man, I'm rocking with it, bro. We done came a long way. But that's where I'm at with it, man. You know, shout out to K Dot. To me, he did a hell of a job. You know, did a hell of a job. I was proud to see him up there as somebody who been watching football for the 80s and went decades without seeing no rappers headline a Super Bowl. I just think it was pretty foul how the hip hop community acted because of a rap beef, a rap battle, and their favorite rapper lost. You know, you like who you want, like who you like. No skin on my back. Again, I'm not trying to convince y'all to like nothing that Kendrick Lamar performs, that he do, or nothing like that. Everybody gonna like different stuff, and that's the beautiful thing about individuality. We all not gonna like the same stuff. You know, we all like the Atlanta Falcons because that's our team. But man, there's millions of people who think the Falcons ain't shit. You know what I'm saying? Y'all know it. Y'all Falcons fans. People tell us all the time, man, Falcons are garbage. Why you root for that team? That's my team. You know what I'm saying? That's my team. But on that note, man, I want to thank everybody for your time, man. I appreciate it. Thank you very much, as always, for coming here, listening to your boy Vent. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate it as always, man. It's Monday. Everybody have a good week. I'm gonna try to pop in, maybe do another show, maybe Wednesday, Thursday, maybe sometime this week. But if not, y'all be good. God bless. Gone.